Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 75. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It is Book Insight Friday, but I'm not delving into a book today. Talking about gun control in America. And before we start, a statistic says that 74% of people say the right to own a gun is essential to their freedom. And I'm continuing this discussion because I wrote the book series Kids with Guns, and for the past few weeks I've been speaking on how I wrote the book series and why and what went into it and what characters I had and things of that nature. And I dropped you guys little hints and tidbits of certain characters to pay attention to. But today's the day I'm going to share with you who you really need to focus on. Now, the Second Amendment, gives us the right to bear arms and have a weapon to protect ourselves. And this was written in the Constitution for a reason, to protect us from the tyranny of the United States government. Don't shoot the messenger, because this podcast is going to be a little controversial today. And you guys are going to either respect what's being said, or, well, you guys will take it like a grain of salt. But the Founding Fathers knew the potential of what this country could be centuries from their time. And when the government is trying to take away people's guns, well, there's a reason for it, to control all of us. And when they have plans to do certain things and people are ready to rebel, well, if no one has guns, then pretty much the fight ends, right? And other countries have been able to change their gun laws to the point where people do not own them. And I'm not going to sit here and go into the countries that have done it, but if you want to take the time to do the research, then do it. Now, the reason why I wrote Kids with Guns is because if you take the time to look at all of the school shootings that have happened, well, since, let's say Columbine, it's all the same storylines and the same ammo. And when you start to dig deeper and you research and you go down a rabbit hole, they're using the Hegelian dialectic. And that is, create a problem, get a reaction, and give the solution. Creating the problem: a plethora of school shootings, kids getting easy access to guns. Watching the reaction: people are upset and want stricter gun laws. Providing solutions: slowly taking away your Second Amendment rights. Now, are you understanding all of this and how it works? Because gun control, well, can be attained through still allowing people to own guns, but not take them away. Remember, the world is run through signs and symbols, not laws. And once you learn that, and are willing to go down a rabbit hole and pay attention to Lena, Mark, and Brittany in the Kids with Guns series and what they speak about, you'll understand how and why I use fictional characters to get a message out to the masses. There's a method to my madness. Understand that. And once you guys know that, then you guys will start to really pay attention to certain things that I say and the reasons why. Because I have done extensive research on certain things, and I pay attention to little details, and I watch things for what they are, not what the media wants you to think. So the news and the media, they use certain things also to get yourself into a trance or get yourself into a certain mindset. Now, I'm not going to go in depth into all of that because that's just another podcast in itself. But if you do take the time to go on YouTube, you surely will find what you're looking for. Trust me. So what I'm trying to say is that it is important for the amendments that are there for us to be able to utilize them. Freedom of speech, allowed to own guns, allowed to get a right to the right trial in front of your peers, a myriad of other amendments, and all of the things that uh, allow this country to stay somewhat afloat and somewhat structured. I'm not going to delve into all of the government agencies and all of that stuff, but let's just say if you watch the movies with more intent instead of watching it for entertainment, you'll start to fully understand what's really going on. Because the writers of these movies, trust me, they're sitting behind the scenes with the government officials. Don't think that they're that great and that talented to write movies of that magnitude. So when you sit and look deeper into the Manchurian Candidate and Bourne Identity and all of those action-packed drama movies, there's more to them than you think. And there's so many more movies I can sit and go down the rabbit hole with all that, but why should I? You guys get my drift. So what I'm trying to say is that we have to pay more attention to details. We have to start looking into what's really going on and why. Because for there to be so many mass shootings and the same weapon is used, you have to question yourself. You have to wonder what's going on here. And there's more I'd say, but I think the goal for me is for you guys to go look into the Kids with Guns series. And I think you'll get a good feel for what direction I'm going in regards to all of these agendas and propagandas that are being pushed on us. So for me, I used to sit behind this microphone and expose a lot of things that are going on in the world. But then I got to a place that it's better that I put it in a book. It's better that I turn it into an audiobook. To sit and talk about it for 10 to 15 minutes does no justice. And I could talk about it for an hour and it still won't do any justice. But to write in a book and then turn it into an audiobook, that makes a lot more sense for me. Because then, years from now, you can reflect back on that content and go, oh, that makes sense. That's all I wanted to say today. This is a short podcast, but don't worry. The future Book Insight Fridays will be full of more impactful content that I've worked on in the past few years. With that said, be aware, pay attention to details. If you own guns, I am not saying that you shouldn't keep them. I'm saying that you should be able to keep them. Be sure to stay alert, protect yourselves and your families. Be good, everyone, and go and accomplish your goals.